second stop on my tour of China, I arrived in Tianjin. Here, it's known for its Museum of World Cultures, with the He River flowing through the city's center. This is the birthplace of crosstalk comedy, and the streets are adorned with buildings from various countries. During my 5-day stay in Tianjin, I visited a total of 20 places. The first stop was the National Maritime Museum, a seaside museum also known as the Maritime Forbidden City. Due to time constraints, I watched a dome screen film first. The Ocean and Astronomy exhibition is a must-see, featuring fascinating and awe-inspiring displays on marine civilization and astronomical knowledge. It's a great place to bring children along. Of course, there are many other exhibition halls worth visiting. I tried the Earth ice cream, which was delicious, and the popular coffee bookstore is also located here. For transportation to and from the city center, you can buy a direct shuttle ticket in advance or take a high-speed train and transfer. The second stop was the Beidaihe Museum, located within the Tianjin Foreign Studies University on Maqiang Road. You need to enter through the northwest gate during designated time slots. It is the oldest and most abundant natural history museum in China, with a history of over a century. It is also the most unique museum I have ever visited. The cycle of life seems tangible here. Next to it is the former residence of Sang Zaihua, and the museum stamp is also located in this area. The third stop was the Tianjin Museum. You can get a paper ticket at the service desk on the left side of the entrance. You can also buy creative ice cream here. Due to time constraints, I only visited the second floor's exhibition of exquisite treasures, which, although small, featured high-quality exhibits. Next to it are the Tianjin Art Museum and City Cultural Center, which are also worth a visit. The fourth stop was a cruise on the He River, which I believe is a must-do and the most worthwhile activity in Tianjin. There are tickets available at several piers, but I recommend the Beidaihe Pier, which is closer to the Tianjin Eye. If you choose the 8 p.m. time slot, you can enjoy the sunset. The cruise takes you on a round trip, passing by the Tianjin Eye, the Jinggang Bridge, the Linegrove Bridge, the Ancient Culture Street, the Jifeng Bridge, the Tianjin Bay Plaza, Tianjin Railway Station, the Century Clock, and the Italian-style town and other famous landmarks in Tianjin. After the cruise, you can take a stroll along the He River and admire the night view, taking photos of the Century Clock and the Jifeng Bridge. I had feuding meat slices along the He River, but be cautious in trying it. The fifth stop was the Gold Bay Creative Space at the National Library, where I took photos on the famous rotating staircase and got the stamp. I felt that the creative products here were exceptionally well designed, and the Lu Xind and the Lu Xun themed merchandise was also lovely. The sixth stop was the Century Clock and the Jifeng Bridge during the daytime. The seventh stop was the Porcelain House, where I only took photos of the exterior, which was quite impressive. The cats there were adorable too. I suggest not buying a ticket for the interior tour. On the way, I passed by the former residence of Zheng Exuiliang, but didn't enter due to the expensive ticket price. The eighth stop was Shaanxi Road and Qifeng Road, where I took photos at a small aircraft station and the I Love Tianjin sign. The ninth stop was the residence of Puyi, the last emperor of the Qing Dynasty, which has a European architectural style. You can get a stamp and a paper ticket at the service center. The 10th stop was the 5 Great Avenues. First, I visited the San'an Courtyard, which felt like a cultural and creative park. The Minuan Square was my favorite spot, perfect for photos, both at the entrance and inside the park. The only drawback was that it was quite crowded. I then went to Demi Bubble Tea for a stamp and ended up being late for work. The feeling of the Ji Tower and Porcelain House was similar. I also visited the Munan Park but missed the heart-shaped installation. The 11th stop was Xiao Bei Tower, and I really enjoyed Tianjin at night. I took photos of the illuminated Xiao Bei Tower, and afterward, I found a restaurant nearby to have dinner. It was called Kun Xiao Guan, a small restaurant that left a great impression on me. Their Qianlong Bai Kai, Xia Keo Sanbao, a stir-fried dish, was delicious, and none of them disappointed me. The 12th stop was the Tianjin Zoo. I rushed to the Panda Pavilion at 8:30 am to see Exile, and he was incredibly cute. If you want to see Exile in the outdoor area, make sure to arrive before 9 am because he goes inside for feeding after that and then goes to sleep later in the day. I briefly visited the other areas of the zoo. The 13th stop was the Exikai Church, a church with a 100-year history. Entering the church doesn't require an appointment, but you need to remove your hat. The 14th stop was the Henglong Plaza, where I had no appetite left, only the traditional zongzi, sticky rice dumplings, for the Dragon Boat Festival. The 15th stop was Jifeng North Road. I visited the Bank of China Museum, which requires a reservation during designated time slots. I got a stamp at the Tianjin Postal Museum, where they have many commemorative stamps. The nearby European-style buildings were also worth a visit. The 16th stop was the Italian-style town. To be honest, it wasn't as good as I had imagined. It was quite commercialized. But since I was there, I took some representative photos. I also visited the Tianjin Memory Museum, where I got stamps representing Tianjin's memories. Their refrigerator magnets are highly recommended. They are exquisite and reasonably priced. If you haven't been to Tianjin, you must visit this unique city.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to this channel.